Hello viewer, beautiful day to you. I'm here again, your librarian Daniel. I've come with another interesting topic. But before we go into the business of today, I want to say that if you are a lecturer, you are a student, you are a researcher, and you're watching this video, please let's have your comment below at the comment section. We want to learn from you. We want to enjoy from your wealth of knowledge. We'll be waiting to read your comment. Thank you for doing that. Now, the business of today, the topic we want to discuss today is the law of double entry principle in research. The law of double entry principle in research. Before I go into the main deal of today, I want to state that this law is very germane to research. If you want to be a successful researcher, you want to beat the law of plagiarism, you want to be honest academically, this law of double entry principle must be rigorously, must be religiously followed. Now to the business. The law of double entry principle. Now the law says that for every in-test entry, there must be a corresponding end of test entry. Now, the law is very, very germane to research. If you are a researcher, you cannot run away from it. The meaning of this law is in every in-test citation, in every acknowledgement made in the body of your research, there must be a corresponding, there must be a reversal, there must be a second aspect of that particular acknowledgement in your end of test citation. Let me take the law again. The law says that for every in-test entry, there must be a corresponding entry in the end of test reference or citation below. Now, from this law of double entry, two things are germane to this talk. The things are the in-test citation and the end of test citation. This video is going to be based on those two contents. Meanwhile, because of time, we will be dealing extensively on in-test entry, and probably in our next video, we will treat the end of test entry in detail. Now, what is in-test entry? As explained in my previous video, in-test citation is giving reference to the owner of a sentence, giving reference to the owner of a statement, is giving reference to the owner of a methodology in the body of your research. While you are writing your research, you give reference to that particular person in the body of your research. In-test entry. Now in today's we'll be doing something unusual. I will be showing us some handwritten placard such that we will understand, we will get a better understanding of what we are talking about. Now, talking of in-test citation, it is of two categories. In-test citation can be divided into two. We have narrative citation and we have parenthetical citation. I made mention of this in my previous video, but today we are going to look at them in depth. Now, narrative citation and parenthetical citation. What is narrative citation? Now, narrative citation is giving reference to the owner of a particular statement in the body of your research, and this is embedded in a sentence. I repeat, you are giving reference to the owner of that statement in the body of the mail, and that reference is embedded, it is infused in the sentence you are paraphrasing. While the parenthetical is between parentheses, between brackets. We will have a better understanding when we start seeing prototype that I want us to see today. But don't forget, narrative is in between sentences, it's in between statement that you are paraphrasing or you are citing. it is embedded in it. While parenthetical is separated in a parenthesis, in bracket. Okay? Now, we'll be looking at different ways to cite authors. I mean, if we have 2, 3 authors writing a particular book or wrote a particular book, if you have an organization that have written a particular book that you want to cite, if you have husband and a wife, that have written a particular book you want to cite, you want to look at how to cite the information of these people. Don't forget in the in-text citation now. Okay, the first thing that we have here is a material written by one or two authors. But in my example, I'm using 2 authors because the same way is the same way that you cite 1 and 2 authors. Now look at my example here. Oshibajo 2020 opined that Nigerian jollof rice is sweeter than Ghanaian jollof rice. Now this is narrative citation. It is embedded in the sentence. Oshibajo 2020 opines that Nigerian jollof rice is sweeter than Ghanaian jollof rice. Now if you look at the parenthetical aspect of it, we have, for example, red apple is sweeter than green apple, bracket open, Adam and Eve 2020, bracket close. You see the difference now. Parenthetical referencing or citation is always separated with parentheses, with bracket, while narrative is always embedded in the sentence. This is an example of 1 or 2 authors. Okay? Now, the second one we'll be considering is 3 or more authors. A situation where you have 3 or more people that have written a particular book that you want to cite. Now, for example, Atoda, Adebi, Salako, and Ubala 2020 suggest that library is the best source of information. That is narrative. We can see it is infused in the sentence that I'm paraphrasing or citing. Now, parenthetical, library is the best source of information, bracket open, Atoda, Adebi, Salako, and Ubala 2020. It is separated by parentheses, sorry. Now, there is a clause to this. Please note that when you are citing 3 or more authors for the first time, you list all the author's first name. But in subsequent citation of the same author, you cite only the first author's surname, followed by a author, then the year of publication. Now, if I want to cite this one now in my second citation, I will say Atoda Etor 2020 suggests that library is the best source of information to 3 or more authors. Okay, this is group or organization or corporate author. When you have an organization that wrote a book you are citing, you have a group that has written a book you are citing. This is how to cite it. Now let's take for example, World Health Organization, bracket open, WHO, 2020, argues that vaccination is necessary for everyone to stay alive. This is narrative. The only difference we have in this one that we have not been seeing in our previous examples is that the abbreviation of that name of the author is infused in the bracket, separated by a comma and the year of publication. Now, this is so because that name of the organization is long and they have a formal abbreviation, a format that is recognized. Now, look at the parenthetical. Vaccination is necessary for everyone to stay alive. Bracket open, World Health Organization. Another bracket open in between. WHO, which represents the World Health Organization, bracket close, 2020, year of publication. Do we see? Now, in the subsequent citation of this author in the same research, you will not have all the names spelled out like this. If the organization has a formal abbreviation, like this, WHO is a formal abbreviation for World Health Organization. If it is formal, then in the subsequent citation, you use WHO year and the year of publication rather than using the full name. We get it? Now, the next one we want to look at is author with the same surname. This occurs when you have a husband and a wife that have written the same material you want to cite, or cousins, they share the same surname or the last name. So in this situation, this is what you do. In narrative, the rule says you write the full name of the two authors or more authors. Say for instance, in this case we have Andrew Smith and Susan Smith as husband and wife, and they've written a particular book I'm citing. What I will do in narrative is that Andrew Smith and Susan Smith will be written in full, followed by the year of publication. Let's say for instance now, Andrew Smith and Susan Smith 2020 suggests that high-flyer students study at night. That is narrative. You write all the name in full. Now considering the parenthetical. In parenthetical, the rule says you abbreviate the first name of the two authors. Now, for instance, high-flyer students study at night, bracket open, A for Andrew, dot Smith, and S for Susan, dot Smith, 2020. The rule says, in parenthetical, you abbreviate the first name, and the surname or the last name of the author is written in full. This occurs when you have husband and a wife that have written a particular book, or cousin that have written the book you are citing. The last but not the least here, when you are citing a particular video from YouTube, this is what you do. It is actually the same way you cite one or two authors. The only difference is that you need to use the name of the uploader, the surname of the uploader as the author's surname, and the year the year the video was uploaded as the year of publication. Just same way you do when you are citing one or two authors. Yes, because of our time, we are going to stop here today till we meet in another video. In my next video, we will be looking at end of text reference in details. I believe we've learned one or two things from this video. Lastly, if you are yet to interact with the subscribe button below, please hit on it and encourage this channel. Till I see you again in my next video, stay safe and enjoy the grace of God. Bye-bye.